welcome to Big Boof Bets. It's the Get That Money podcast. I am Nate Stevenson, and as always, I am joined by Mr. Big Boofy Skirman and Mr. Tony T-Bone Guarino. How's everybody doing today? How was your week one?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I got to say, week one was really close to being a monster week for me, but I'm just going to call it a very good week one, which I'll take that every week.
Yeah, I feel you, buddy. I had two things that, so close to making it a monster, so I'm right with you. How about you, Tone?
Oh, yeah. Great start. Week one, like you said, maybe not a monster, but definitely like a scary spider or something. I mean, it was a good way to start the season. And you know what? I don't even want to waste time on all of my thoughts on that. Boof, tell us how good week one was.
Well, we had 6 locks last week, and we went 4-1-1. Winners were the Steelers and Bills, first half under 24.5 points. Seahawks minus 2.5, Broncos minus 2.5, and the Rams and 49ers in a 6-point teaser, getting both of them down to minus 1.5. We had a push that was the Bucks and 49ers teaser. Interesting note on that. So most books will just call that a push regardless if one of your legs ends up as a push. So in our case, it was the Bucks going from -8 down to -2. They only won that game by 2. But I did end up winning some money on my FanDuel account. So it was as if they just deleted that leg and gave me credit for the 49ers at a -1 line. So that was kind of cool. But for our record keeping, that is a push. And then sadly, we tweeted out the Vikings -3 as a lock, which obviously did not hit. So, 80% to start week one, and we are looking to maintain that pace for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep it up.
You also had the get out of jail free parlay hit last week as well there, Boof. So I believe that was a 5-legger. So about a 4-unit win on that. So, all in all, good week one all around, baby.
Heck yeah. So what do you say we try to make it an even better week two?
Let's do it.
I like you.
All right, let's kick things off, the pun definitely intended, with our Thursday night football game, which is the New York Giants at the Washington football team. Washington laying 3 in your over-under at 40.5.
I think when you see this game, your initial thoughts are this is an under kind of game. You know, 2 good defenses, 2 offenses that aren't that great. But the line is pretty low, so I don't like that. And then my other instinct says take the football team -3. I know Fitzpatrick got injured last week, but frankly, I've been impressed with Taylor Heineke. And Washington made sure they paid him this offseason, so you know they like him as well. And he was 11 for 15 in relief last week when he came in. So I believe enough in Washington to cover the 3 here, and that's where I would go.
I can't disagree with most of what you said, Boof. I unfortunately can't get on board with laying the 3 with the football team. Even as good as Heineke looked last week and even going back into the playoffs last year against the Buccaneers. But it's still a backup quarterback with his first start of the year. And I do think the Giants have at least decent or a chance to be good defense. I think the verdict's still out on that. I know I'm higher on their defense than you are, Boof. So, and the Giants did also sweep the football team last year, 20-19 and 23-20. So that line is about where it needs to be. If anything, I'm going to buy some points on the total and take the under. But beyond that, I'm going to pass it.
All right, well, let's head on over into Sunday. We'll start things off with a bit of the homer game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers laying 5.5 in your over-under at 46.5.
Boof, what are the odds on Mike Tomlin Coach of the Year, man? I think I'm in.
Don't even go there, man. Just get into your picks.
Our boys look good last week. I like most of the people in and around the Berg did not expect them to pull it out, and that defense looked fantastic. The offense found enough as the game went on to put enough on the board to get them to victory. So we're coming back home against a Raiders team that just played on Monday night and had a big win against the Ravens, and now they're going to be coming to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game on a short week. I do not think those things can be dismissed. And it's not like the Raiders are exactly the most disciplined team either. So I'd say high probability they're partying it up pretty late on Monday night. So all those things, give me the Steelers laying 5.5. I love them to win the game. And I also like laying those points a lot as well.
Well, the world must be ready to explode because Nate is sipping the Steelers Kool-Aid, and I'm the one that's pumping the brakes saying, I don't know. I don't know. The Steelers just have a history in particular against the Raiders recently where they have not gotten the job done, and it's enough to scare me off the pick, so I'm going to pass.
All right. Up next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Chicago Bears. The Bears laying 3, and you're over-under at 45.5.
So this is an interesting one. I know with our season win total, we took the Bengals under 6.5, so basically saying they're not going to be any good. But part of me was definitely curious to see how quickly this offense would click and just how quickly things would click for the team in general. And I think we saw that last week against the Vikings. And conversely, I thought the Bears were who we thought they were. They're bad. And I got the Bengals where I think they're going to win the game, and you're going to give me 3 points. I'm going Bengals +3.
Yeah, I had a guideline going into this year that as long as Andy Dalton plays quarterback for the Chicago Bears, I am betting against the Chicago Bears. And now you're telling me that they're going to be facing a Bengals team that is getting points that just beat a team in the same division I view as way superior than the Bears. Give me the points with the Bengals all day, +3.
You want to lock that in, buddy?
Oh, I can't believe I'm doing it because it's the Bengals, but yeah, let's lock it in.
Lock it in the Bengals.
That's an excellent idea.
All right, moving on. We have the Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns laying 12.5, and you're over-under at 48.5.
And what is the world coming to that the Browns are a double-digit favorite at home? And we're like, yeah, that sounds about right. It's crazy, man. I know we both leaned taking the points with the Browns against the Chiefs in week 1. That would have been the right side, so definitely wish we would have did that there. This week, I am not making that same mistake. I am going to lay the points at the Browns since we are going against still one of the worst teams in the league in the Texans. But I'm going to get a little creative here, Boof. 12.5, you're leaving the back door open a little bit. I don't think that should be an issue. I do expect the Browns to win by a couple tutties, but what do you say about laying 6.5 with the first half line and not even having to worry about the back door?
Well, that's what we like to call that's that Nate stuff right there. And I'm all for it, man. I love going the -6.5 for the first half. I think the Browns are going to kick their butt. And I got to be honest, I was a little disappointed because Cleveland coming off of a loss and the Texans coming off of a win. I thought we might get a better line than this. But for me, it's still not enough. And I'm on board with the Browns -6.5 for the first half. Shall we call that a lock?
I think yes, we shall. Let's lock it in and get that money. Browns!
That's crazy!
All right, up next, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. The Rams laying 3.5, and the over-under at 47.5.
Well, you already know I love the Rams on the season. We took them last week in a winning teaser. This week, I'm just going to take them straight up here at the -3.5. Colts look bad as expected last week. Rams look great also as expected. Seattle, who I think is not as good as the Rams, already covered this number on the road last week against the Colts, and I expect the Rams to do the same. So love the Rams -3.5, and that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah, we love when things go exactly like we expect them to go. And by the way the locks looked last week, a lot of that happened. And I'm on this train with you as well, Boof. The Rams look great. I expect them to look great again. The Colts look like crap. I expect them to look like crap again. I am down to lay the 3.5 with the Rams. You want to lock that in, baby?
Oh, yeah, let's lock it in.
Get there, buddy!
All right, let's move on to the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. The Bills laying 3.5, and you're over-under at 47.5.
I do not expect the Bills to have a repeat performance of week 1. I can't say they look poor as a team because their defense still did, had a pretty solid game. But offensively, Allen looked out of sync. The offense looked out of sync. I don't expect that in week 2, but a division game on the road, laying 3.5. I can't bring myself to do it. The Bills did sweep the Dolphins last year. They won by 3 and by a lot. I knew they blew them out. I can't remember what the exact
It was
total
like
was.
56-26, something like that.
All right, yeah, that's a lot.
Indeed.
The important thing is in Miami, they only won by 3. And I do believe this is an improved Dolphins team from the solid Dolphins team of last year. So again, 3.5. I'll just lean Bills win.
Yeah, I think Dolphins plus 3.5 is the side you want to be on here. I think they have a championship caliber defense, and I think offensively they're just going to continue to get better throughout the season. Will Fuller is back. They did lose both games to him last year, so that's enough to scare me away from it. I'm just going to lean Dolphins plus 3.5.
All right, fair enough. Next, we have the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Patriots laying 5.5, and you're over under at 42.5.
I like the Patriots to win. The points are a bit much for me. I think the Jets were pretty much what we expected. They're still a bad football team. If you believe in Robert Saleh, then there's reason to believe that they will get better as the season goes. But it's only week 2, so I don't think we're there yet with them. The way I'm going to play this is we're going to take the Patriots on the money line, parlayed with the Broncos on the money line, and you can get that as a payout of minus 101. I just want to share that because we did a teaser last week, and so we kind of compared the payouts on this. So if we did the same thing as a 6-point teaser, which would basically give you New England plus half a point in the Broncos on the money line, and that was paying out at minus 134. So basically for half of a point, basically eliminating the tie, we can improve our payout from minus 134 to minus 101. So my official pick is Patriots and Broncos as a money line parlay.
Oh, Boof, are you giving out a parlay as a lock? I mean, bro.
In the middle of the episode, too, baby. Not even in the parlay section. Yes, I am.
Dude, you're getting me all kinds of
We're
excited.
going upper level this year, baby.
All kinds of excited.
Sharing all the tricks.
I like it. And I agree with you on all of that. I do believe in Robert Saleh. I think the Jets represented themselves a little bit better in the second half, but again, it's 5.5. I think the Patriots are better than the Panthers, and the Patriots honestly were a fumble away from beating the Dolphins. So I definitely have no problem playing it a little safe and just going the 2-team parlay. I love that. I will also have the Patriots in some of my parlays, which we'll share at the end of the show. So, but yes, if you're telling me we can lock in a 2-team parlay, basically like a 2-team teaser, I am down.
Well, let's do it, baby. Lock it in. Let's get that money.
Oh, yeah, get that money.
This is madness.
All right, up next we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers laying 3.5, and you're over under at 50.5.
Definitely one of those games where I do not want to overreact to week 1. I thought that the Eagles were not going to be a great team. I'm still willing to withhold judgment on calling them a horrible team and give them a chance to be a semi-good to okay team. So that's where I'm with the Eagles. The Niners, they pretty much did for the majority of their game against the Lions what I thought they were going to do, which is beat the crap out of them. So sometimes, you get a little comfy at the end of the game. So we're going to ignore the backdoor stuff that happened to some of the people who bet that game too late. And I am willing to lay the 3.5 with the Niners because A, I think they're the better team, and B, they are, for those who don't know, they have the Niners, when they travel to the East Coast for multiple games in a row, like to stay on the East Coast. 2 years ago, they stayed somewhere in Ohio, won both games on the East Coast. Last year, they stayed at the Greenbrier in West Virginia and won both games on the East Coast. And this year, they again are staying on the East Coast at the Greenbrier, and I expect them to again sweep their 2-game East Coast road trip. So definitely love the Niners on the money line, and I also like laying the 3.5.
I do not. I think Philadelphia is the better side of this. I think as long as they stay healthy, they're a good football team. I gotta say, I was wrong with my assessment of them coming into the year. I was very impressed with how they performed in Week 1. Jalen Hurts took care of the football, and then on the positive side, he looked awesome throwing the ball. And defensively, they were very good. Now, do I think Atlanta is as good as the 49ers? Absolutely not. But I was impressed with Philly. I like them to win the game, and you're giving me 3.5 points. I think that's the better side.
All right, well, let's keep things going with the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. The Saints laying 3.5, and your over/under at 44.5.
I was very impressed with the Saints last week. I was very impressed with Jameis Winston. I think his team has a great defense as well. I'm down to lay the 3.5. I was not impressed with Carolina. They were playing the Jets, and they kind of squeaked by with their win. So I'm going Saints minus 3.5.
I am not down to lay the 3.5 with the Saints. I need to see more out of Jameis than 1 week against a Packers team that didn't seem to really know if they even wanted to play football in Week 1. So I also really like Christian McCaffrey, and that the potential, which I know is a dangerous word, of that Panthers offense. So it will not surprise me if the Saints win. I lean the Saints winning. I don't like the hook with the 3.5, so I'm staying away.
Okay, the final 1 o'clock game for Sunday is the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Broncos laying 6, and you're over/under at 45.5.
Yeah, we get the Broncos going against a team that is worse than the team they just beat by multiple touchdowns. I think the Jaguars are a worse team than the Giants on both sides of the ball. And honestly, maybe the only place the Jaguars are better at quarterback with the way Danny Dimes looked. But I digress. You have Teddy covers Bridgewater at quarterback for the Broncos. Well, I heard some insane statistic. I believe he's like 37-13 against the spread as a starter. Like, that's nuts.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like, take Teddy covers, take the Broncos, take
a bettor's best friend.
What's that?
I said a bettor's best friend.
Yes. Teddy covers is a bettor's best friend. So yes, lay the points, take the better team, take the better defense. Make Urban Meyer start thinking about his next excuse why he's going to quit coaching.
Hey, that's such a great segue, man, because you already know how I feel. Urban Meyer is not the right guy for the job here. They looked terrible last week, and they're not going to get an easier matchup. I mean, Houston is as bad as anybody else in the league. Denver looked great. How many times do you think like Trevor Lawrence or Urban Meyer have been down, maybe 10 points in a game? Like, maybe you can probably count that on one hand in the last 15 years. So I don't know. This is the NFL, man. It's not. You don't just show up with the way better team and kick everybody's butt every Saturday. This is the NFL. You're actually on a team that was 1-15 last year. You have the worst team, and I do not think either one of them is equipped to handle that right now. I love Denver -6, and let's lock that in.
Oh yeah, lock it in. Get that money.
All right, that takes us into the 4 o'clock hour for the afternoon games on Sunday, where we'll start with the Minnesota Vikings at the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals laying 3.5, and your over/under of 51.
Man, you had to be impressed with Arizona last week. I mean, Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. J.J. Watt was good. They were stout up front against what we consider to be a very good offense in the Titans. And then offensively, I think the Cardinals got a couple pieces that really fit in well to what they want to do on offense, like Rondale Moore with those crossing routes that they do all the time. Kyler Murray looked healthy, man. He was running around making all kinds of plays. He's up to number 2 in the MVP voting already. And then conversely, the Vikings just look terrible. I like the -3.5. And when we were talking about it, Nate suggested going -2.5 on the first half, which I agree with him. I think that's the better play. So we're going to go Cardinals -2.5 in the first half.
Yeah, and the rationale there is we don't we don't like the hook as much, that 3.5 for the game, as opposed to the 2.5, which a field goal can cover for the first half. The Vikings started slow against the Bungles and still ultimately ended up losing the game by a field goal. And the Cards, conversely, started fast against the Titans and then rolled on to victory. So Vikings, second road game in a row to start the season. Cards coming home to a fired up home crowd, them being 1-0. I expect another fast start by the Cardinals. Hence, we're going -2.5 for the first half. And that sounds like another lock, baby.
Oh, you got that right. Let's get that money.
Oh, yeah, lock it in. Get that money.
All right, let's keep it going. Then we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs laying 11.5, and your over/under at 51.5.
So this is one of those ones where it's going to seem like I'm overreacting to week one, but I'm really not. The Falcons sucked all preseason, and then they sucked in week one. When you continue to suck, when it doesn't matter as much that you suck, maybe you really suck. And now you're going down to the defending Super Bowl champs, where you lost, I believe, 44-27 late in the year last year. I think this Atlanta Falcon team is worse than the team that ended the year last season. And again, like I said, we're going down to Tampa Bay, to the defending Super Bowl champions. And they are meaning the Bucs, laying 11.5 with the extra rest, being that they played on Thursday night to start the season. So they have a 10-day rest. Therefore, the rest advantage also in their favor. I will gladly lay the 11.5 with the Bucs here.
Yeah, Atlanta just got whooped by Philly. Tampa Bay is just so loaded. Antonio Brown played great last week. Gronk played great last week. Then you still have Godwin and Evans. Honestly, Tampa Bay was a little sloppy last week. They had 3 or 4 turnovers. I do not expect that to happen this week. I'm going to lay the 11.5 with Tampa Bay. We did look for first half lines. Best we could find was 7. So you're kind of afraid of getting stuck with a push there. So that's why we're going to go with the 11.5, and let's lock that in.
Oh, yeah, lock it in. Get that money.
All right, up next, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers laying 2.5, and your over/under at 55.5.
I love the Chargers in this one. I think they are going to be – the Chiefs should be on alert because the Chargers are coming, baby. I'm down to lay 2.5. I always think Dallas is going to find a way to lose a game against good teams like this. The number is high at 55.5, but I also like the over. As I talk smack on Dallas, they still have a good offense. I could see this game being like a 45-35 kind of game, a real track meet. If you have any of them in fantasy, fire it up. I like the over, and I like Chargers -2.5.
Boy, you better take the Chiefs' name out your mouth with that blasphemy.
Hey, well, put them on alert. Chargers are coming.
Bro.
Would you say they're charging towards them?
They are charging towards them. Well said, Tone.
I mean, I got Justin Herbert on my fantasy team, as everybody knows. So, that's okay. But I also do like the Chargers. I do think they're a good team. They did nothing in week one to make me think that they will not be a dark horse for the division. I will, I'll give that a little bit to you, Boo. But I do think they're at the very least going to be a playoff team. They only beat a team that had to roll with their backup quarterback for a good part of the game by 4. Now, granted, I know the Washington football team has a good defense, but I just try not to overreact too much to week one. The Cowboys did look good offensively against the Buccaneers, but they also got some help with the turnovers. So, and we all know, we think that they still have a really bad defense. So my lean is going Chargers -2.5. Don't love it enough yet to lock it. And that total is just so freaking high. My lean would be over there again, but unfortunately, Boof, can't lock anything with you, buddy.
All right, our final Sunday afternoon game is the Tennessee Titans at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks laying 5.5, and your over/under at 53.5.
Yeah, I love the Seahawks here. They're coming home. The 12s, as they call themselves, will be in attendance, so I'm sure that stadium that is known to be one of the loudest in the league will be bumping for the home opener. And as we know, the Seahawks put it on the Colts in week 1, and the Titans got it put on them by the Cardinals in week 1. I do like the Seahawks to win the game, and I also like the Seahawks laying the points here. I just think dangerous will be too much for a poopy Titans D, and the Seahawks D will do enough to squeak out at least a 6-point or more victory.
Truthfully, I don't have much of a rebuttal to what you said. Besides, I'm going to give Tennessee a pass for week 1. And I'm going to see if they're more the team that I was expecting to see from them. I mean, offensively, they were terrible last week. And this is a good offense. So if they look like crap again this week, then I might say they really miss Art Smith. And I might start betting against them. But until that happens, I'm going to show them a little respect. And I'm just going to pass here.
I feel you there, Booth. Not to interject one more thing there, too. But I think something that also matters a lot for the Titans is Julio is still a little banged up. A.J. Brown is still a little banged up. And like you said, they're getting used to a new offensive coordinator. So it just might take a few weeks.
All fair points.
All right. Well, that leads us into the Sunday night finale, which is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. Chiefs laying 3.5 in your over-under at 55.5.
Over the last few years, this has been, one of, as far as at least going into the game, it's been one of the bigger hyped games of the season. And the Chiefs have found a way to win all of them. I think that's going to happen again. Now, pro tip, follow us on Big Boof Bets on Twitter. And you can get this line at -3 because we tweeted that one out yesterday. So if you follow us, I hope you jumped on board when we told you to, because we got the Chiefs at -3. And that's where we locked it in.
Oh, yeah, Boof, I'm right with you, buddy. When I saw the Chiefs at -2.5, I believe it was on Sunday night, I was like, ooh, that's gonna go up. And then already on Monday, I believe it was during the Ravens Raiders game,
it was like 15 minutes before kickoff is when we decided to do it.
Okay, is that what it was?
Maybe
okay.
a half an hour before.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Yeah. Then, point being, it was definitely yesterday evening, early last night. I was like, man, it's a 3, and this is like, it's gonna go up. Like, even if the Ravens win, it's going to go up. They lose, it's definitely going to go up. And that's when, yeah, we had I believe another podcast first, a pre-podcast Twitter lock when we put the Chiefs out there at -3. So again, as Boof said, if you guys grabbed that, good on you. If you didn't, it's gone and it's never coming back. And obviously, one more thing. We do love the Chiefs, as Boof said, because every time they hype this matchup, that the Ravens haven't won, and now they're more depleted. On top of and part of that depletion is you're down 2 starting defensive backs, and that's a bad place to be against my boy Pat Mahomes. So if you got the Chiefs at -3, good on you. I think that's one of my favorite bets of the week, and I know we did it already, but Boof, you want to lock it in?
Let's lock it in, baby. Get that money.
Get that money.
All right. Yep. All the more reason to like and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Okay. This takes us to the week finale. I guess it's yet to be determined if it's week or not, but the week 2 finale, our Monday night game, which is the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Packers laying 11.5 in the over-under at 48.5.
Yeah, I think we're going to treat this one the same way we treated the Browns-Texans game and lay the 6.5 in the first half. The game that the Lions had against the 49ers last week is a good barometer of that. They were down double digits at the half and then made a charge at the end. I like eliminating the back door. I do expect the Packers to come out in their home opener with their hair on fire and looking to make a statement and score their, I can't believe I'm saying this, first touchdown of the year. So, yeah, give me the Packers -6.5 in the first half. And also, bonus tip, Devontae Adams, first touchdown of the game. He did that several times last year. The Lions are without Jeff Okudah, or whatever his first name is. their first-round corner, so they're going to be even weaker in the secondary. Take Devontae Adams, first tutty score, bonus prop pick.
Well, after the Packers got their butt kicked, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers was thinking it, but I'm just going to say it for him. RELAX. Relax. They're still the Packers. The Lions are still the Lions. I expect this to be a full-on beatdown. Nate already told you we're going to go with the -6.5 in the first half, and that's going to be our last lock of the week.
Oh, yeah, lock it in. Get that money. Go, Packo.
All right, another exciting week ahead of us. So, Boof, why don't you recap just how exciting that is?
Yeah, we can do that here. 9 locks this week. We got the Chiefs -3, which we tweeted out on Monday, like we said. Bengals +3, Browns -6.5 in the first half. Rams -3.5, Broncos -6, Cardinals -2.5 for the first half. Bucks -11.5, Packers -6.5, also in the first half. And then our podcast first, Pats and Broncos as a money line parlay with a -101 payout. And Nate Dogg, I love how we kicked it off last week with a winner in the parlay section. So without any further ado, do you got any parlays for the people?
Always, baby, always. We got several tiers to the system this week. The biggest one and our most lucrative is we're going to start off with an 11-leg parlay. We're going Steelers, Rams, Patriots, 49ers, Saints, Broncos, Seahawks, Chiefs, money lines, and Browns, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay, all double result. That is, they have to be winning at the half and at the end of the game. As an 11-leg parlay for +57.61. So $100 bet will win you $5,761. Now we're going to be able to go through this really quick this week. Same parlay. If you subtract New Orleans out of that, if you don't have faith in Jameis or you want to wait and see, that'll bump it down to 10 legs and plus 3,900. If you also are an Eagles backer, like Mr. Big Boof here, you can subtract them out. You can subtract the Niners out of the parlay to bring it down to 9 legs and go plus 25-21 on the odds. And if you want to go a little bit further, and if you're a little shaky on Green Bay having a hot start, you can subtract Green Bay out of their double result, and bump it down to 8 legs and have it be plus 1701 on your final odd total there. And lastly, if you are scared of the double result, scared of a slow start in the first half, we can just swap in Cleveland and Tampa Bay money lines for their double result, which will still keep you at 8 legs and give you plus 1079, which means a $100 bet will still win you almost $1,100 on your get out of jail free parlay this week, which did hit last week, as Boof said. So let's get a lot of units this week. Hopefully they all hit. We love that. At the very least, one of them does, and we all make a lot of money. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's what it's all about, baby. Can't emphasize it enough. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. If the lines move and we like something, we will tweet it out, and it'll be another lock to the slate. Who knows? Maybe if we're feeling a little freaky, we might even send out a college pick. Who knows? You never know. But either way, just make sure you're following us because you're not going to want to miss out on a winner. Best of luck to everybody, and let's get that money.
Oh, yeah. Get that money. It's the Get That Money Codcast.
And people can do things fish can't do.